Hello, folks. I am back. I just decided to spend a little bit of time today since I didn't have anything to do before bed to do a little farming. This is the 14th stream, and as we all know, 14 is a lucky number, and I will be needing all the luck I can get if I'm to obtain what I plan to do, which is the serpent's magma blades. Let's see. Okay, so we do have the rotten breath. We do have our dagger. Some other things. Yeah, let's go. One thing though, I do want to farm up some. I'll try this farm location, the Impaler's Catacombs. There is a number of birds there, which might be a better choice. Since we have Dragon Breath, might as well use it. There is another location that has more birds, but I feel like the short trip back and forth from the side of Grace might be just what the doctor ordered. Interesting. Okay. Nothing this time. But our goal here is to get a bunch of foul feet so we can make four-toed foul feet so we can get the silver foul foot. It doesn't boost our chances by much. I mean, we're getting just shy of twice as likely to get, was it like a 1% or 0.5% drop item? But since we're doing 2 per round, we might as well, I figure. There we go. And I also just wanted to test this location to see how good it was. I'm not convinced it's great, but I think it is better. One location that's been recommended is to go from here along the coast to here. I don't think that's very great. It's much better to take the isolated merchants and go north, and then right along this stretch there's a bunch of birds. But this one also seems to be a decent location, just because, like I said, we're right next to the Grace. Well, it's pretty dang close, and we got a spot of 3 that you can get at once. Okay, so I'm having issues getting all of them, but we're getting some drops. Make sure you have your item discovery boosted already when you go to do this, as that does increase the chance of the foul foot dropping. Also, let's stick this down here. Placing him. We can have a nice running count of how many we've got. Once we get about 10, I think I'll call it quits on farming the farm item and start getting to the actual farming. Oh, and of course, another thing to keep in mind is this does give you 4 arcane, which is a fourth of a percent increase in drop rate, and 0.5% from the active Great Wound we have on, which since we haven't died since the Godfrey boss fight, since we just headed home, might as well make use of that on a decently low risk farming setup, shall we say. We got pretty good defenses, so I think we won't be in any danger. When we go to farm the man serpents, we're getting a decent drop rate, honestly. I feel like we're up to 6. Let's try to get 4 more. We might try the same method when we go down to the beach, but I don't know what the not aggro, but alerting radius is for spells. So here's the interesting thing: these birds, when you attack near them, they will fly off in a decent radius, right? You'll alert a decent number of them. But when you do a weapon art, it often doesn't, even if it's a damaging weapon art. What's up with that? I don't know. Also, that's a pretty lucky run. But that makes it optimal to farm them using weapon art. If you have an upgraded weapon, I highly recommend Storm Stomp since it gets a bunch of them in a radius, and these little clusters of 3 that are frequently found can all be executed at once. However, at this level, Storm Stomp tends not to get it in one go. I might just be using the wrong weapon. I don't think it scales off of weapons, though. But the big idea is maybe... Oh, right. I don't have Storm Stomp on. But you'd be around there, and then you do a Storm Stomp, right? But the idea is... you can still get them with Storm Stomp, but it becomes inconsistent when you have to do it twice. Right? The ones you do hit, you can knock out of the air and then hit them again, but if you miss it the first time or something like that, or if you get just slightly off, you'll lose 1 or 2 out of the 3, which is not really great for efficiency. And if it turns out that Rotten Breath or something similar will do the trick, then obviously that's what we're going to want to do, as long as it doesn't alert too many birds at once. Okay, that takes us, I believe, to 10, right? Yeah, so let's go try farming the Serpent Men. We'll always start in the Temple of Igle, and we'll farm the 2 at the top of the lift. We want to make sure and eliminate... Oh wait, we're going the wrong way. Over this way. We will want to make sure to eliminate the Albinuric madman that's up there, but he staggers in 1 flame art or weapon art, so shouldn't be bad. And we are sacrificing the damage on our riposte to improve our chances, since a lot of our work is going to be done by a Raw Breath anyhow. Over here, there's one around the corner. Let's just pop it, and honestly, it looks like we can Poise Loop him. I don't know if we should even bother with Rot Breath. Oh wait, never mind. That was just the poise damage from the Rot Breath itself. It's probably a volcanic stone. Yeah. But that's just the way it is. Perhaps we should eliminate any threats as well. We won't need to do the Magma Breath or the Whip one behind, since that is a quest reward. If you'll remember. Tried to shield through that. Mess that up. We should be good. Obviously, Flame does practically no damage to these folks. It might be correct to swap over to a pure physical dagger. Like a heavy dagger. But it's not a huge issue. I suppose we should have just taken the elevator down. We might actually get 2 runs in, which is going to save us a little. Not a lot, not any time, but it will save us foul feet. So we'll do that in the future here. I think these things last 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Pretty sure it's 3 though. But yeah, this will most likely be a long ride, especially since I would like to get 2 magma blades. But this is why I left it until sort of the epilogue of this little series. And this will be a long epilogue. We will be doing boss attempts on the big guns, trying to figure out a working strat. But until it comes about, we shall be taking a lot of time to farm things that we want to farm and so on. Is there a blood clot? Blood clot's nice. That's actually a very nice byproduct of this farm, since we do want those blood clots. We're making the basically the undead hunter charms. Oh my. Truly frightening. Could it be? It's probably shield. Yeah. And our discovery rate's already gone down, so perhaps we may have erred in our assessment here, but we'll see. Also, I forgot to check if there's anyone in chat. I rather doubt it, but if anyone's here, welcome, hello. Hope I didn't crash my game doing that. There we go. And of course, other Ashes of War that deal the kind of poise damage that this weapon art does. But they don't go on the dagger. They don't go on the misericord. That said, they should be considered, I think. Cold Katana, for example, with Unsheath, was featured earlier. Stance on the straight sword can do it. I should have done that from the start. Could have been dangerous though. Yeah, we'll try just going pure physical damage here. Might be the correct path to take. Look how fast it's going. Oh, I forgot to use the foul foot. Oops. Well, we still have it in that case. Could be worse. Alright, but our current discovery is almost 200. Ooh, and we sent the... Almost as if we knew. We sent the elevator down. Honestly, it might even be worth trying to preserve the buff. We'll do it. We'll do it, I think. Just don't let this this fella fuck with us. Spooky. Now let's activate. And get in with a surprise attack. Or perhaps even the frost breath. Let's try that. Well, it is a hellish farm, and this is why. I think Dragon Knights work reasonably well there. Might be same old regardless of what we use. But let's see if we can preserve this buff for the next 2 kills. If we can, I'd call that a success. Not a huge success, but it's at least practical. Because doubling the drop chance is basically doubling... Well, we're not actually doubling the drop chance, though. We are... Give me about 50% more. So it's like doing 50% more runs, I guess. Not entirely sure if it's worth. We really should swap to heavy or something. Oh, we didn't get anything out of this one. Let's quickly proceed. That worked out nicely. We dropped though, but we didn't preserve the buff. I think we'll just not do it then. 50% more, but we're eating up the time on the elevator. I'm getting the feeling it's not worth. Maybe it is. I don't think so. Also, I never looked at the bottom of the thingy. The flask. It's kind of cool. Sorry, that's just been distracted, but nothing else to it. Well, I suppose we could replace a defensive talisman with something, the source seal or something for another 0.5%. Don't recommend it. I feel like playing it safe, especially since we know we can screw up, is the best. And we'll just send the elevator down each time and pour it in. And we'll get what we get. Also, if we get, one of these heads, I don't know if we'll use it, but it's cool. I think they take no fire damage or very close to no fire damage. Yeah, I should really swap over to pure physical dagger. You get a drop? No, just a volcanic stone, unfortunate. Oh no, we've been aggroed. Oh, what a downside. Well, you know what to do in these cases, right? That's right, turn back around. I find these farming sessions to be kind of therapeutic. Oh wait, we're gonna do something, weren't we? Usually don't do this, but for extremely fire resistant enemies, Ashes of War, we'll set it over to standard. Just gonna give us more than heavy when one-handed, so we'll just do standard. And see if that gives us a marked improvement. Or how much of a marked improvement. We could always swap the dagger over to the assassins. Not sure if there's any point to doing so. We're not seeing a huge change in damage, actually, I think. Could be wrong. Maybe I'm not reading it right. But it doesn't strike me as being a huge difference. We'll see if there's any difference on these fellows as well. Not marked. don't think we really improved our efficiency there, so we're just gonna swap back. Because we had to do it anyway at some point. Wait, Flame Art's doing more. Oh, it's because we're rune arced up, I think. Yeah, I ain't complaining. Unhanded and rune arced. That's probably what it is. Like I said, I ain't complaining. Especially on the physical bonus aspect of it. At times like this, you wish for a Mask of Avarice, honestly. Although, I suppose we couldn't use it if we had it, if it was the literal one. Actually, we could because of the active rune arc, but because these are the kinds of technicalities that don't matter for usual farming anyhow. Please come. Nope. Just volcanic stone. Get used to disappointment. No use. I don't know if I'll be uploading every instance of, or at least, oops. I don't know if I'll be publicizing, making public every VOD I download from sort of postscript series. Just because a lot of it's, you know, farming attempts. I gotta be on this side. I want you to notice how we've still accrued fewer runes than if we did the bird twice. Bird farm strong. And since we're not probably going to do Elveneric farm anytime, you know, that would be our strongest farm technique for buying boluses and such like. I certainly don't blame anyone who just has their friends drop them their stuff, though. Quite the tedium. We aren't even farming for, you know, the rare items like arterial leaves and such like, which I assume will take quite a bit of time and some amount of risk. Since we have to get them from the Yeti-like trolls and such like. Really makes you wonder what Miyazaki was thinking. But I've complained enough about farming. No, that's not true. I will continue to complain about farming until I'm done. And it took me 150 hours on my collect all items file. So I doubt I will be done anytime soon, even on this very limited version. At least we'll have volcanic stone. Not like we can't pick those up everywhere. No drop. That's unfortunate. Oh, we've settled into a rhythm. It'd be nice if there was someone here to chat with. But it is sort of the middle of the week, Wednesday night. I get it. And there are plenty of infinitely more interesting streams, even for the folks who are into, shall I say, the project that I'm doing. It's not like I don't have better things to do as well. I just like this game. I'm probably not alone, but not exactly a very popular thing. I think what I'm into, which is sort of the prep for PvP more than the actual PvP itself sometimes. Mostly because I perform poorly, I suppose. I mean, if someone accused me of that, I don't think I'd be able to deny it. I'm pretty bad at PvP. And I'm very scrubbish, right? I'm not just bad. I'm not a very good learner. I'm a very lazy learner. Dragon Breaths are busted though. Golly, like they do decent damage. I mean, it's not FP efficient damage, but like we're just farming here and we can shoot off these Dragon Breaths, more or less as much as we like. And they do damage to these mobs with no upgrades. I think they do damage to bosses. If no one has seen Oliver's videos, they should. Right, people who are watching this channel who are interested in actually doing something like this, watch Oliver's videos, because we are very much learning from him in many respects. I mean, we have our own ways of doing certain things. I think Bloodflies are superior to Frost Breath in most situations as a secondary DPS option. Not always, but. But I certainly did put it to use based on sort of watching him. Oh gosh, no, this is not good. This is not good. Well, good thing we have boluses. Gosh. It looks like we've been dropped a whole lot of nothing. Grand. Yeah, don't get grabbed, folks. A little FP refill to top us off. Awesome. Alright, without a doubt, the people who are, using this in co-op PvE are playing easy mode. Cannot be denied. So from the vindictive point of view, you got to twink on these overleveled co-ops, because what they're doing is essentially twinking but more effective, right? And if you think it's a terrible thing, that we can trivialize the PvP with all these Chandran strictures on us. You know, think about co-opers who don't have such strictures. Right? I don't know. I feel like there's nothing illegitimate about this. What we do here. Although I suppose, you know, there's no need to like justify or whatever. Not like I chose to do this or not do this based on people's opinions on Reddit or whatever. And that's true. I mean, these days that's true of everyone who invades. Though it used to be much more of a unified community, or so I hear. I started in DS3, but even DS3 compared to Elden Ring, like the community seems a lot more veteran and respectful, probably because they're veterans. Stop cowering. I can't teleport if you cower. Oh, that's the fellow. Very charming from to design the hallway this way. Bit of a joke, but still. You really do miss what you don't have sometimes. The little conveniences. Are we spoiled? Maybe. A little bit. But I guess it does contribute to the feeling of success. A little. And it does contribute to the feeling of tedium. A lot. Any drops? Doesn't look like it. Oh, hey, how's it going, Mocking? MC? I'm not even... I don't know what I should call you. How's it going? I'm just doing a little, post-game oh, there he is. Thought the lizard disappeared for a second. I'm doing the Hellish Farm. I'm doing the Magma Bait Farm. Because we do that around here. And as you can see, it's going about as well as Magma Bait Farm tends to go. You've never gotten it. I don't blame you. I've tried for 3 hours. I farmed it once already on my collect all the items, you know, original playthrough of the game. But yeah, it's at times like these. I can't get off the subject of why in the world FromSoft gave us so many more items that are held to farm, and then took away options for us to boost discovery rate, even though they seem to be like very obvious adds to the game. Like, why isn't there a physic that boosts your discovery by 100 for like 3 minutes? You'd think there'd be one of those, but there ain't. I don't think there are any unfarmable items even at this level, but there's a lot of unfun ones, and this is definitely one of them. And I'm planning to farm 2 of these blades. So I'll probably be here for the next decade or so. But yeah, there's this is not exactly the most exciting stream. My last stream was the exciting one because we just did the boss rush for the end game. Bonk breaks out. Yeah, it has that sort of euphoric energy of you know, the parry noise. And let me tell you, you get used to hearing that because that is the only stance breaking is like the only way to reliably farm mobs in this game when you're doing these twink playthroughs. But I guess I suppose I'm grateful for the fact that dragon incants are extremely strong and we could just spam them. The downside is, of course, that that's what the co-opers are using. Would I trade Dragon Breaths, remove them from the game? I don't know. Maybe. Although these late game bosses without Raw Breath, they are not fun. I suppose you could Raw Pot them. It wouldn't be impossible at all to beat the game without Raw Breath. It's just, it would be a lot more of a hassle, I think. Raw Breath applies way more conveniently. Oops. Why is it not casting? Oh, I killed myself. Oh, my brain is small. My brain is small. What a waste of a rune arc. Will we need it? Oh gosh, we are overweight. We are fat. Can we get out of heavy load? Not like that. I guess we'll just have to go up to this. We also lose 0.5% of drop of discovery, half a point of discovery. Or sorry, 5 points of discovery. So we went from 198 to 193. Absolutely tragic. How will we ever recover? I don't know. There's more volcanic stone, I'm afraid. Gosh, I'm gonna be making farming vids and boss attempt vids for a while, which will be very boring, and then some invasion vids. well, streams I should say, which will be a little bit less boring. But I confess I'm very bad at the PvP. But the most complex thing I can handle is being a big poised boy and swinging a great sword at someone while they futilely swing something else at me. Hopefully a straight sword or something light. Oh, gosh. I goofed. Oh, the lack of the rune arc really did hurt there. I guess I should have just done breath again. Oh, the greed. The fact that this enemy type has a shield makes it a bit inconsistent. Which is why I was alternating with the ice breath, because that gets the shields a bit better. It is what it is. And I feel like I've said this before, but I feel like there's a lot of interesting research to be done with these strats, though, that still hasn't been done. Like I had over 100 hours in on these files before I realized the power of the cerulean dagger for looping poise breaks. And it was only today that I realized, just since I can get an infinite loop, I might as well do that on Malekith instead of trying to rot him phase 2. And I think that's gonna improve everyone's strategies in the future. And the fact that the people have been doing this for hours on end at this point, because nobody else is, I figure, and we're still discovering this stuff, means the metagame for this very niche way of playing the game is still something to explore quite a bit. Okay. No! Oh, the lack of the rune arc is really hurting me. Maybe I should slap it back on. I could always invade some. Every third invasion is some guy dying to PvE anyway. It's not impossible to do so. Why not? I died more with this thing off than I have with it on. Might as well go back to what I was doing, like so. Let's go. Okay, we got a drop. Please be not a shield of volcanic stone. Please, we're not heard. You gotta really pray to RNG this. Well, if you're here for commentary, there's not much to say. I guess you're out. I don't know. Let's see. I'm also wondering what to think about uh, glitch methods or like things that might be considered glitches. Um, I've been avoiding them on this run. I have used wrong warping before, but only in something that honestly could be done without wrong warping, and which I later did without, which was getting the Mimic Tier mask early by skipping the Radon fight. But then I went back and killed Radon without using Rot, so it's not as if it's something that's required. Like I said, that's on a previous file. I bring it up though because I feel like there's some potential using glitches and not just like moveset glitches and stuff like that, but other glitches to get real damage on Elden Beast. Perhaps Radagon, right? Maybe even moveset glitch. Like the pizza swap or whatever. But I don't know if we should do such a thing. Because the idea is to beat the game legitimately. Both as a challenge and as a sort of badge of legitimacy for invading at this level. You know, it's like, look, you got this legitimately. More of a challenge than whatever your Phantom is doing, playing the game for you. So don't complain. Of course, you know, I'm not saying willy-nilly everything is justified. But I would say no Rot in Limgrave. At any rate, we should avoid using it, I think, in general. It feels very BM. I wouldn't want it used against me is the big thing. Same thing with like Seppuku. Like if someone comes in with a bubble build or whatever, it's like, look, it's goofy fun. Like, even if someone comes with Fike, I'll understand. You know, it's pretty meta, obnoxious, but everybody's using it anyway. Ah, and of course, that happens. Did he drop anything? Doesn't look like it. C'est la vie. Of course. Like trunking in Crucifixion Woods is a little different. What with some days of the week, weekends and such, more people got Prisoner's Chains than don't, I feel like. And honestly,